Hello there, if you're new to this channel, I'm Dave Dickins, I make guitars. This is a travel guitar that I've been working on for about 4 years. It's the fourth iteration of this travel guitar. There is a brief history of my travel guitars on the channel if you'd like to have a look at it. The most important thing about these travel guitars is they're very versatile. They've got electric pickups and semi-acoustic sort of pickups under the bridge, and the important aspect of that is you need electronics in the guitar. So basically you can plug it straight into an iPad or into an amplifier, and you've got a full range of sounds from semi-acoustic to really harsh electric. And in this video I want to show you how I do the wiring and basically get the guitar ready for playing. So I hope you enjoy the video. Now normally one of the problems when you have a thin body guitar like this is that the pickup screws can be too long, but in actual fact if I use this plastic cover on the top, I think the screws are going to be okay. So let's try it. Just push that through there, push that through there, and I think that looks, it's tight, but they are underneath the rim there, so that's really good. Okay, so let's get this pickup in there place. This is always a fiddle. This guitar's got a preamp in it, so I'm going to need to fit a battery holder. I'm using these A23 12 volt batteries. The amplifier is a low power FET transistor preamp, so it doesn't use a lot of power. In fact, the guitar I've got out on test, the sort of third iteration of this, has been going for well over a year with the same battery, so it's pretty good. The battery will be switched on when the guitar is plugged in. So I'm going to mount the battery holder just there, and then this plate will just come off. It's going to be held on with a magnet. Just got to check that this screw is out the way of the battery because it's quite a big screw, that one. Yeah, that works a treat. Now of course you guitar builders will now note the fundamental mistake that I've made here. I fitted all these bits including the battery holder, and I haven't lined this with metal tape to stop interference. So that's my next job. On this guitar I'm going to fit this back on with a single screw just there. It's quite a tight fit. There you are. Let's pop there. I may need to put some sort of catch on that end. See what we can do. And if you can see them, here's a string of disc magnets, really strong magnets. I'm going to put one in the plate and one in the guitar body. So I've got the magnet in the plate, now I just need to put one in the body. To wire up the rotary switches and the pot and the selector switch there, I've got this little jig which will just keep them all steady while I put the wires on. It's easier doing it this way than doing it inside the guitar body where there isn't much room. The first thing I'm going to do is tin the connectors with some solder. Okay, so now I need to connect some of these rotary pins together. Now I've soldered all these components, I need to lift those from the jig and put them into the guitar. And I'm going to fit the ISO pickup, a bit of a fiddle, which is into there, so it's just above the surface. Now this is the first time I've used a black painted bridge, so the interesting thing here is how do you earth it? Is that paint conductive? Let's try it. Helps if I turn on the multimeter. It is conductive. It's always important to earth the bridge, so I've fed this wire through that screw hole and it comes out into the body of the guitar. What I'm going to do is I'm going to strip back some of this insulation. Okay, so now I'm going to just pull that back through and just feed that round the side of the piezo pickup there to the back there. Now the bridge sits above the piezo inducer there, so, and it's slightly proud, so what I do is I put the 3 screws at the back of the bridge in reasonably tightly and the front is slightly lifted up, and what I'll do, I'll put the front screws in but not too tight, and that will allow the vibration from the bridge to go through and be picked up by the piezo pickup. So what I've done, I've cut out a piece of card as a template for the area where the fixing point, fixing sort of bracket for this will go. I want to put the amplifier in that way round, right up against this end of the guitar, this side of the guitar. Obviously you've got to be able to get a battery in and out of there. This is where all the wires will connect. So what I need is something which has got clips on either side that this just clips into. Okay, so from this template, cut a piece of plywood. It's about 5mm. That will sit in the middle there. Then I've got these 2 strips of plywood which I shall glue in place, and then I'll put some sort of strap from one side to the other. Just check that's okay. Needs to be a bit of an adjustment there. That's great. Okay. Just put a weight on there to hold it. There's the weight. Okay, leave that to set. One thing I need to do now is to fit this stereo jack socket into the plate here. Now I use a stereo socket because I effectively run the earth from the battery to the what is the stereo connection between the earth and the stereo connection, so that as you plug the guitar in it will connect the earth and then make the battery and the circuit live. It's always a fiddle getting this stereo jack in because there really isn't much room. There we go. That looks okay. So this is good, except for one thing, and that is that the signal connector is touching the earth, so I'm going to have to insulate that. want to be able to get access to the connectors. And test it with a jack plug. Okay, it's a bit of a tight fit, so I'm going to have to just adjust that back connector. Okay, I'm coming to the end of the day, so I'm going to stick this into the guitar body there with some epoxy. The right way round. So with the circuit board in place, I set about doing all the wiring between the pickups, the amplifier and the controls. And to do that I used a wiring diagram which I put together a few months ago, and the problem with my wiring diagram was I hadn't colour coded all the wires properly, so it was a bit of a pain doing it. I've since done a new version where all the wires are colour coded, and I would strongly recommend, if you're doing this sort of work, complicated wiring and a guitar, colour code all the wires. It makes your life so much easier. Anyway, I think that's probably enough for this video. In the next video I shall be showing you how I put the machine heads on and basically just finishing assembling the guitar. So until then, keep safe and thank you very much for watching.